it's me, Renee. I'm back. So this weekend is the 24 in 48 readathon. It started last year, so it's a variation actually of the Jewish. It started last year when Jews couldn't be executed because of stuff, and then one of the participants decided she wanted to do her own instead, because Jewish wasn't happening. I'm thinking I might have heard somewhere that Jewish is happening in August, at least. But Jewish is usually in April and in October, so I think maybe it's also in August this year. I'm not completely sure. But anyway, this readathon is anyway this weekend, 24 and 48. So the idea is to read 24 hours in 48 hours. So I suppose if you're crazy or if you're just massively in no need of sleep and just massively don't need to do other stuff as well, you can manage to do that. Though I think it's very rare that people manage all 24 hours, really. What I usually do, as I do with this one and Jewish, I usually just read as many hours as I can. So I suppose you could ask then what is the difference between this and a normal weekend, Renee? What is it? Yeah, I suppose what's the difference is that normal weekends I might just read one book, but for this weekends I try to read more than one book, and I also do it in context with other people, with other readers around the world, and I think that's kind of fun, really. And I'll link all the information you blue, of course. And so this is my TBR. Oh yeah. Since since it's since this version is mainly hosted by a woman from the Netherlands. The time starts. It's 9 p.m. Central European time. So for us Europeans, it's easy. For you Americans, Australians, you have to just count, figure out time zone stuff. But you have time zone clocks online stuff, so you probably will find it pretty easily, really. And so this is my TBR for that. I'm going to work on Saturday for 4 hours, but on that I have just all the time in the world to read. And all likelihood I'll probably read some on Tuesday as well, though that's not official part of the weekend, but I'll probably be reading some before this as well. Something I won't read until then. But so this is my TBR for this week. Readathon 24 and 48. I know, a lot of babbling for a lot of stuff. So yeah, I found a little stack here. You might be Renee, it's just 48 hours. It's from Friday till Sunday, Friday morning till Sunday morning. How are you supposed to read all this in that time? And when you work it as well? Well, okay, yeah, it does officially end at Sunday morning, but I usually when readathons happen, even when it's normal due, that's just often supposed to be one day. I often take it as an excuse to read the whole weekend, so the whole of Friday and the whole of Sunday, and as much as Sunday as I can. Like this weekend, I'm gonna work a bit. I can't stay at work and read. No matter what you think, us bookstore people, we don't read at work. We don't. Can't do that really. So yeah. So this is my TBR, and so chances are I'll be reading until the night, and it's a little bit of everything here. And also, I also have some plans. I might pick up an audiobook and just take a walk and then listen to some audiobooks. Of course, I'm gonna say them as well, but first I'll do the physical books. So the first one is Hexal or Condeja by Rachel Hawkins. You might think Condeja? What are you talking about? Well, this is Hexal in Spanish. So I know Spanish. I have more or less no problem watching movies in Spanish, with text or actually no text. I've seen some Spanish movies on Netflix. I've seen Siempre Bruja in Spanish with no when no subtitles. It's all fine. I can manage that. And I think this one. Yeah. Actually, I have read this one actually years ago. Maybe it was someone else. Anyway, I have some books in Spanish, and I read some of them years ago, but I haven't really read it in a few years now. Now I really want to get back into reading them. And yeah, well, as I said, I haven't read this before, but I read some Kathy Hopkins books in Spanish, and they were like easy and nice, and yeah, just fun to read in Spanish as well. And Hexel, I love Hexel. I kind of also want to do a Hexel reread, so I thought like, why not do it in Spanish? I used to have all the books, Hexel books in English, but I can't find two of them, so it's a bit weird, really. But yeah, so this one, it's a bit of a old timer. It came out in like 2010, 12, 11, so it's I suppose it's quite some years now. But it's I suppose kind of a classic YA. It's YA paranormal, YA witches, and yeah, I'm just gonna move on because I can't talk too much about other book here now. I suppose I can, but I'm not gonna do it. No, right there. Then we have The Wedding Party by Jasmine Guillory. This is the second book in her Wedding Party companion series. So it's not a direct series. It's a companion series. So you meet the characters in all the books, and they have and then they have one book each for like their love story. So this is the love story of Alexa and no Maddie and Theo, and they met as Alexa's party, I think. Yeah. And yeah, they still sorry, it's a hate to love relationship. Love to hate. That would be very bad. It's a hate to love relationship, and that's fun. And I really enjoyed Jasmine Gilroy's the wedding dates. And yeah, can't wait to get this one. Then we have The Beholder by Anna Bright. So this is a YA pirates story actually. I'm not sure actually if it's historical or if it's like just fantasy pirates. Thinking no, it says Atlantic. So yeah, so they use your real life stuff. I suppose it might be a mix of stuff. Like honestly, I heard of this last year when it came out. Like oh, pirates, ships. It sounds so cool and looks so fun. I haven't really read that much into it. I'm reading it now. It seems like it takes place in parts of Norway. It says here to the gardens, to the from English castle gardens to the fjords of Norge. Norge is Norway in Norwegian, so why they would not say Norway, why they say Norge? It's kind of cool and interesting. I suppose maybe it's an alternative world, so they mix fantasy and real life places. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is just cool. Involve Norway. Now though, this could have a much huger, much huger. It could have a much huger foreground. Like if this does Norway bad, me as Norwegian, I'll notice. Like when I read a few years ago, I read the Magnus Chase books. I like them, but some parts of them take place in Norway. I'm like, why do you describe that like that and that like that? It kind of took me out of the story, and yeah, it's kind of annoying. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Watching you, Anna Bright. I'm watching you. Hopefully, she's done her research, and yeah. And then we have actually Zanin Champion of the World by Roald Dahl. Another one, Norwegian. Well, both his friends. Oh, both his parents were Norwegians, but he lived his whole life in, let's say, US, in the UK. Roald Dahl, he wrote Matilda, he wrote Charlie and Chocolate Factory, you probably heard of him, but yeah. So I read Matilda, I read The Witches, and I read Charlie and Chocolate Factory in my childhood. This one, Danny, actually never read. So I'm quite really interested to get to this one. And it's short, so it works perfectly for a readathon, as this one is. So if anything, this one I'll probably finish this weekend. though, because I said I'll finish it this weekend. I might not, because I don't want to finish because because Curtis, and if I say something, I won't do it. So yeah, who knows? But I want to finish it, and it's not improbable. Could happen. It's 215 pages, so it's not long. So yeah. Then we have One Hit Wonder by Lisa Jewell. So this is a chick lit contemporary romance. What's the difference between romance and chick lit? Because I think most chick lits have a lot of romance in them. But I hear some people say chick lit and some people say romance. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so Lisa Jewell is a British author. Nowadays she writes a lot of thrillers. She used to write romances. And I read some of her books earlier, but I haven't read this one. And I want to get to it. And I'm thinking this might be fun for Talkathon. Might work for that. So yeah. And then we have If I'm Being Honest by Emily Vivoli and Austin Sigmund Brucke. So this is actually a retelling of Taming of the Screw. Yeah, Taming of the Screw. I'm just gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, Taming of the Screw. Which is also the story that 10 Things I Hate About You is based on. I love that movie. I heard good things about this book. I'm actually budding reading it from Sunday, so this one is probably one of those books because, as usual in TBRs, it's books I want to get to. It's not certain I'll get to all of them. This I probably will because of the buddy reading. I'm here's a new book. Sorry, but yeah. So yeah. So that's all the physical books I want to get to. And as always, might get to other stuff as well. But yeah, that's kind of ones I'm thinking I really want to get to. In addition to those books, I have audiobooks, as I said, that I'm reading at the moment that I might dip my toe into or read it, listen to a bit now and then. I have From A to C by S.K. Ali. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the author's name. Yeah. And then I also have what other audiobooks am I? I might also start Indigo by Beverly Jenkins. I heard that's a really good book. I haven't actually listened to any Beverly Jenkins yet. I really want to do it. It's a historical book with a POC character, so that's very fun. And yeah, and I also might actually listen to also a Norwegian crime book. Well, it's actually a Norwegian crime parody book. So one of Norway's most famous comedians, he's written crime parodies for actually 20 years now, so some time really. And he just does them perfectly, and it's just so fun. Normally crime is not really my style, but when you put a twist on it, and when you put humor in it, I'm there. So yeah, I'm loving that one. So I might listen to some of that. I feel like I'm missing some audiobooks. But you know what? I'll just gonna link the rest of the audios that I might listen to in W because by the time I post this, I'll probably have realized which I'm forgetting at the moment. And yeah. So yeah, that's my TBR. I'll do a wrap up as normal when I finish this readathon next week sometime. And yeah, I hope you have a nice weekend reading or not. And yeah, this is me saying Renee out.